Will Smith, during an interview at a film festival in Saudi Arabia, revealed that the development of I Am Legend 2 is progressing rapidly. He confirmed that the studio already has a fully prepared script and filming is set to begin this summer. Smith stated that he will reprise the role of virologist Robert Neville. Thus, he will be joined by Michael B. Jordan, who was previously announced as the performer of the new main character. Although Robert Neville died at the end of the original installment, but Warner Bros. Released a DVD in 2008 with an alternative ending where he survives. Most likely, this ending will be recognized as true canon, and the sequel will continue the story based on that narrative. It's worth noting that the first I Am Legend has been an iconic hit since 2007. In it, the audience is immersed in the atmosphere of a lonely post-apocalypse in devastated New York. Will Smith once again showcases his ability to carry the entire movie on his shoulders. 3 years ago, it was announced that work on the sequel had begun, and it's not just a spin-off, but a full-fledged second part continuing the storyline of the first film. Let's recall the finale of the original. In the closing scenes, we witness a massive horde of local zombies attacking Robert's house. He, along with Anna and her son Ethan, find themselves trapped. After fending off the infected in several fights, they hide in a lab. Earlier, Robert unsuccessfully attempted to create a vaccine and tested it on an infected woman. Zombies break into the basement, and they are separated only by armored glass. The leader of the horde is about to break it, and at this moment, the finale splits into two variants. In the original ending, Robert sees the only way out: to sacrifice himself, closing Anna and Ethan and passing the last formula of the vaccine to her. Then he bursts into the crowd of infected with a grenade, saving them. Sometime later, we see Anna arriving at the colony of survivors, delivering the vaccine to local scientists. A background monologue speaks of the sacrifice of Robert Neville and how he became a true legend. This ending is considered theatrical and canonical as it was shown in theaters. The second version of the finale, dropped with the digital release, is much closer to the original book. In this one, Neville releases the infected girl who managed to administer the vaccine. The zombie leader takes her, leading his horde away, and the heroes remain alive. The story concludes with Neville and Anna leaving New York in search of a colony of survivors. This alternative ending is closer to the original book by Richard Matheson, where the emphasis is not on a heroic blockbuster, but on survival, loneliness, and philosophical contemplation of good and evil. In the novel, Neville was not a hero, lacked weapon skills, and had no medical education. He simply survived in a new, altered world where the infected had taken over all the cities. Some aspects were omitted in the film adaptation, and it is often perceived as a zombie apocalypse. In the novel, Neville studied the nature of the virus, discovering that he had immunity but couldn't create a serum from his own blood. When the infected caught him, they had already adapted to the new reality, and Neville became a threat, a frightening legend. Returning to the alternative ending, in the final scene, Neville realizes that the infected were not hunting him, but were trying to free the girl who introduced the vaccine. They are not soulless creatures as he believed, but intelligent, sentient beings following their leaders and simply wanting to be at peace. Robert realizes that all this time he has been the monster and looks at the pictures of his former test subjects with regret. This ending is much closer to the book as it reinterprets the nature of good and evil. However, the theatrical version includes an ending emphasizing the heroism of the main character. In this version, the infected are portrayed as clear evil that needs to be stopped. In that case, what could a sequel be about if the canonical ending is the one where Neville dies? The key role here is played by the statement of the screenwriter and the producer of the first film, Akiva Goldsman. He asserts that the events in the sequel will unfold specifically after the alternative ending where Neville survives. It is also interesting that the new film will be inspired by the Last of Us game series. Goldsman emphasized that many ideas from this game inspired him, portraying not only the post-apocalypse, but also the world 20, 30 years after the catastrophe. Back in 2012, there were rumors about the possibility of filming a second movie, which was supposed to be a prequel to the first part. It was planned to provide more details on how the pandemic started. While some flashbacks are already presented in the original film, a more in-depth look at the first days after the virus's appearance promised to be intriguing. Nevertheless, this idea was abandoned in favor of creating a direct sequel. Currently, Goldsman is actively involved in the development of Constantine's sequel with Keanu Reeves. The director of this project is expected to be Francis Lawrence, who also directed the first first I Am Legend. However, the crew plans to work on both sequels simultaneously. This could mean that I Am Legend 2 might not be seen anytime soon, with rumors suggesting a release around 2026. What is known is that Michael B. Jordan, renowned for the Creed trilogy and Marvel's Black Panther, is officially joining the sequel, playing a significant role in the new movie. However, the specific character he will portray remains a secret. There are rumors that Jordan might play the role of Robert Neville's son. This option seems realistic, considering Neville's loss of a wife and child. In the alternative ending, he headed to the colony of survivors, where over time he could adapt to a new life and even start a new family. However, the writers may choose a different path. Since the alternative ending didn't show how Neville achieved his colonial happiness, the search for survivors could become his primary goal in the sequel. In the first film, Smith showcased his solo ability to captivate audiences for an extended duration. Why not replicate this successful formula? Perhaps in the sequel, Neville loses his companions in the survivors' colony, and now he roams deserted cities again, this time alone. In this scenario, Michael B. Jordan could portray the leader of a new human society, inevitably leading to a conflict with Smith. The plot's development could lead to any outcome, ranging from a happy ending and reconciliation to a deeper confrontation. In essence, the screenwriters have ample time to craft a worthy continuation. Currently, they possess a wealth of unused ideas from the novel, fostering hope for the creation of a high-quality film featuring two outstanding actors. Akiva Goldsman also reports that the sequel's events will unfold several decades after the alternative ending, and Neville will continue to fight the virus despite the existence of a vaccine. The screenwriters may turn to the original book to explore the nature of the new zombie society. The book describes how the infected built their own empire, including civilized vampires scarcely different from humans and uncontrollable ones deemed dangerous deviants. The infected from the initial installment may evolve, introducing a new level of conflict. The idea of showcasing an emerging society with its own rules, laws, and problems seems promising, injecting social and political aspects into the plot. Examining divisions among the infected, their relationships with survivors, and diverse stances on the vaccine not only appears logical but also relevant, potentially opening doors to new social and political issues in the storyline. In essence, the potential sequel aims to build on the richness of the source material, offering a fresh take on the post-apocalyptic landscape. Goldsman's acknowledgement of The Last of Us as an influence suggests a nuanced exploration of a world decades after a catastrophe, mirroring the acclaimed game's approach. The addition of Michael B. Jordan to the cast adds further intrigue, with rumors hinting at him playing Neville's son. While specific details remain undisclosed, the combination of an experienced cast and unexplored narrative possibilities creates anticipation for a compelling continuation. To summarize, the I Am Legend 2 is poised to venture into uncharted territory, utilizing an alternative ending as its foundation. The storyline promises to explore societal evolution, posing questions about coexistence, survival, and the consequences of a transformed world. With influences from games and potential societal allegories, the sequel aims to offer a thought-provoking continuation to the iconic I Am Legend narrative. Subscribe.